Oh my God. That's pretty obvious. Here is my beautiful horse. Can you look at the camera, Quister? There you are. That's the guy that took me on that road. Thanks, bud. And we're off and walking up the driveway. Beautiful late summer day. You're fine, buddy. He really does. Let's go this way. It's a beautiful field to ride in. Hopefully nobody's shooting off big old guns. We usually run into deer up here. Thank goodness somebody mowed all this because it cleared it up. It used to just be a really high farm field. We're going to go back into the woods where I spent 2 hours yesterday cutting trees down that had fallen across a really beautiful path. I took that one down yesterday. That was just one of the field trees that had come down. The worst thing is to get smacked in the face with branches. I've had my face cut, my horse's face has been cut, so I do my best to clean up the trails so that nobody else gets in trouble. If you don't break branches on the trails, they're impassable. You can mow, but if you don't break the branches that grow over the trails, there's really no way you can get through except ducking constantly, and that's no fun, especially when you're on a tall horse like mine. All right, here's our entrance to the woods. Maybe we'll see some deer. Oh, there's a big mushroom. Look at that thing. He usually has one. Every now and then you'll see him put an ear back, and he's giving me an ear. Quester, give me an ear. There you go. You got to pay attention to me, buddy. I'm the one driving the bus here. I know you're all alert for any kind of danger, but that's my job to keep us away from that. Yours is just to move on. That's all. We'll do a little trot. I'm sure the camera's bouncing right now. No way to stop that, really. Yeah, there's a branch I broke down there. See him looking at it? Yeah, it's fine. Huh. Wow, that came down yesterday. This is how fast things can change in the woods. This tree here, now it's tiny. It won't be much to get rid of, but this one came down yesterday. So you can step over it pretty easy, but a lot of them are way too big for that. Now I'm going to take you down the trail that I helped the Haverts clear. Oh, geez, at least a good 10, 11 years ago. Here's the tree that I cut down yesterday, one of them. This was a big heavy one. Here's where I dumped the one part. And here's the one that I sawed off. Cleared all this away. Oops, here's a nasty branch. I mean, this is just a beautiful trail. I'll show you how high these trees go. Just incredible. Now, unfortunately, some of them are going to come down. They're just too big. You can see some of them are dying, but it's just a beautiful trail regardless. Here's another one I cut down. Here's another one. Now let's get this branch. Here's another one I took out yesterday. But it opened this whole trail up again. And truthfully, this is one of my favorite trails, but I'll take you on my absolutely favorite trail. Here's another one I took out yesterday. That was across the road. And then here's one more. I don't know. I've never used this GoPro before, so I really don't know if I'm showing you what I think you're seeing. This is nice. Somebody else, I think, moved that tree. But it is beautiful back here. It's just a privilege to be able to ride on these properties. It keeps you off the road. There's so much stuff on the road now. When we moved out here 17 years ago, there were 1/2 of the homes that there is now. And that just equals a lot of traffic and a lot of trucks and vehicles going by that frighten the horse. So to be able to just get off the road and come back here, fabulous. Oh, look at that tree. I just love that hollowed out stump. This is kind of my favorite trail in a weird sort of way, because it's kind of like it's a little bit of a spooky forest. There's not a lot of greenery. It's these huge tree trunks, like something out of Harry Potter or something. Not that I ever watch those, but it's interesting. Now there's a big piece of metal something, which I have no idea what that was. Looks like a shipwreck. I don't know how you'd get a boat in here, but this is my spooky forest lane, I call it. Truly very little greenery, except of course up at the top. But he has to maneuver through a lot of fallen logs, which is good for him. He's learned to pick his way through a lot of stuff. Haven't seen a deer yet, which is interesting. Now we're coming off of this lane, or this, my spooky trail. Now we're going to go back a little bit more into the green woods again. This branch here I need to kind of cut down at some point because you have to duck to get under it on my tall horse. Now here's another beautiful trail. You can see the leaves are starting to fall. Bow wow, I really don't want them to come down yet. I want fall to last forever. Look at that cool tree that's down with the green algae all over it. Oh, no deer so far. He really doesn't mind the deer. They don't usually run at you. They run away. There's the neighbor's horses. Aren't they pretty? Beautiful. Hi, guys. Hi. Well, it's just a treat to be able to come back here all the time. Just a treat. Now we're back out in the field again. See if we can do a little canter, see if this camera stays on me. But it stayed on, yay. Just look at the sky, isn't that beautiful? Hey, bud. Okay. Well, Oh, let's see if we can pick our way through the woods here. This gets a little tricky. One of the reasons why I was thinking of going through these woods to go home was to avoid the neighbor up the road here fires his rifle quite a bit, and I just don't want to come off. And it is a Sunday, and you know, I didn't hear him yesterday do it, but you know, it's a little scary riding up there not knowing what he's going to do. If he fired that rifle right next to us, it'd just be, it wouldn't be a good deal. Quester's not used to shooting. You know, I think being that hunting is still legal out here, I should take him to some kind of a course in shooting guns off of them. Not real guns, but you can shoot blanks, and it gives them the idea of that sound so that they're not, you know, completely freaked out by it. That's where we cut in. I don't know, I think I'll just take my chances and see if I can't just get past this property up here without hopefully gunshots going off. You know, he's usually working during the day. Oh, look at this beautiful little gazebo that Mr. Lundell has. I kind of wish I had something like that in my yard. Come on, buddy. Let's get brave. That's what it would sound like. Pow, pow. See? You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Pow! That's what it sounds like. Okay? Let's not be spooky booky. Okay, come on, let's go. Let's get beyond the gun shooting range. Good boy. You're fine. You're fine. No, you're fine. It's okay. I know you're feeling my apprehension. Back beyond those woods is where the shooting goes. So let's just get back out on the road. Good boy. I know, there's that big white flower again. Now I got the neighbor's dogs. You know, every dog on this road, this is our little secret passageway down to get back to the gravel road. Yeah, you're fine. Come on. Good boy. There you go. Now we're out on the road. There's the neighbor's horse farm, Elysium Farms. Which we live right next door to. There's the neighbor's horses, or the boarders and the neighbor's horses at Elysium, out grazing. Hi, Frida. There's Frida. That's his girlfriend right there. The one with the mask on. We get to ride with Osa and Frida a lot in the trails. And he's in love with her. Hi, Frida. Frida. Frida, say hi. She's always too busy eating. But that's his girlfriend right there. Hi, Frida. Yeah. He loves you, but you're not so crazy about him. You like riding with him, but he's not your boyfriend. I switch my crop on the other side where the traffic is, so if he gets spooked, I can always, it's like a wall, I can keep him away from cars. So he doesn't move this way right into the road and traffic. I can control him better with this crop to keep him safe, keep us safe. If something spooked him from the right and he shot over into traffic, it wouldn't be good. So this crop helps keep him. It's almost like a wall, a safety wall. He's a bit chewer. He loves to chew on the bit. Here's our property. There's our house. Here's our front trees. I'll go down our driveway. Somebody had planted all these evergreens before we moved out, and now they're humongous. They were so small when we first moved out here. Now I'll go down our driveway. See what David's up to. There's our humongo willows. That one lost 2 big limbs this year. There's my horse trailer. There's the yard David mows. At least 4 acres, I'd say. Here's our house. Hi, puppies. There's our dogs up on the porch. Hi, guys. So this is kind of our front yard. There's our Adirondack chairs that we sit out on. There's our deck. Garage, plantings. It's been a good 17 years to get this place to look like that. The house used to be dark brown, and we painted it. It's just brightened it up so much. Hey, Mitzi, what you doing? What you doing, huh? Hi, little head. Okay, well, we're going to go back home now, or back to the barn. Thanks for coming on this ride with us.